Baldur's Gate, a city known far and wide, is where we venture today. Situated to the south of the majestic city-state of Waterdeep, it is a metropolis of epic proportions within the mystical realm of the greater Western Heartlands. The city's reputation as a hub of commerce extends far beyond its borders, reaching the ears of distant lands and sparking the imagination of ambitious souls. Despite its neutrality, the leaders of Baldur's Gate hold a coveted position within the Mighty Lords Alliance, a union of powers that holds sway over the vast Western realms. Such is the city's significance that even the most formidable forces in the land seek to forge alliances with its leaders. The roads that lead to this fabled city are carved by countless footsteps, as the Coastway Road, well-trodden and revered, winds its way through the land, crossing the mythical Worm's Crossing and venturing into the heart of the city, passing through the magnificent outer city and finally arriving at the illustrious gate itself. Picture, if you will, a city nestled in nature's embrace, born upon a stretch of land where the soil itself seems bereft of fortune. Yet, Baldur's Gate finds its place of power upon this very ground. A natural bay, carved by the god's own hand, forms on the northern bank of the mighty river Kyonther, just 40 leagues east from where its waters kiss the vast Sea of Swords. The city is often described as a crescent moon, its graceful curve embracing the harbor of wonders. But as time marches forward, so do the city's ambitions. No longer content with the shape of a simple celestial orb, Baldur's Gate grows and flourishes outward. The upper city, a place of grandeur and regal splendor, stretches out, flat and level, its foundations touching the heavens themselves. But oh, the lower city, a realm unto itself, perches precariously upon steep bluffs, looking down upon the mysterious gray harbor, a haven for ships and secrets alike. Now, let us speak of the weather that graces this fabled land, for the heavens have a whimsical sense of humor when it comes to Baldur's Gate. The air is heavy with mist and drizzle, as if the clouds themselves weep tears of joy and sorrow upon the city's streets. Fog, like a mischievous spirit, dances through the winding alleys, enveloping the city in an ethereal cloak. Such is the way of things in this realm. But fear not, for the people of Baldur's Gate are no strangers to the caprices of the elements. They have mastered the art of water, taming the very rain that threatens to drench their spirits. Ingenious engineering gives birth to an advanced system where hidden basins lie beneath the surface, collecting the cascading rainwater. Through a labyrinth of subterranean aqueducts, these waters are channeled, flowing like veins of life, until they reach their final destination, the massive cistern beneath the hallowed grounds of the temple's district. The constant rain, a gift from the heavens above, nourishes not only the land but also the unwelcome growth of mildew. Its presence, like a lurking shadow, gives birth to a musky scent that clings to the city's very soul, seeping into the deepest recesses of its cellars. To tame the treacherous stone streets made slick by the perpetual rainfall, the people resort to spreading straw and gravel along the cobblestones, a humble attempt to navigate the slippery paths that crisscross the city. The very essence of diversity and harmony resides within these vibrant streets, where the mingling of races and creeds creates a tapestry of unity that stretches across the land. Though the city's embrace is tight and its streets teem with life, it defies the expectations of chaos and disorder. Cleanliness and safety are the hallmarks of Baldur's Gate, as if the city itself whispers secrets to keep its inhabitants shielded from harm. Its cobbled pathways gleam with an otherworldly radiance, free from the stains of reckless indulgence that plague lesser realms. In this realm of revelry, the citizens of Baldur's Gate hold little tolerance for unruly behavior and debauched merriment. Drunken antics and mindless revelry are banished from their streets. Festivals and grand gatherings are not common occurrences in the streets of Baldur's Gate, for its people know that every day holds the potential for celebration. But amidst the ebb and flow of seasons, two sacred occasions demand the city's attention. The first is High Harvestide, a jubilant autumnal feast that awakens the senses and fills the air with the essence of abundance. And then, there is the breaking, a magnificent springtime spectacle that marks the moment when the icy shackles of winter shatter, freeing the Grey Harbor to embrace the world of trade and adventure once more. But the true magic lies in the cobble parties, those extraordinary gatherings that captivate the hearts of Baldurians. Picture, if you will, a street adorned with crates and barrels, transformed into impromptu seating for the eager souls who gather to share their tales and stories. The flickering glow of rose-red torches, mystical flames acquired from the local fireworks shop, casts an ethereal aura upon these gatherings, making the cobblestones come alive with whispers of wonder. Religion, dear listener, is as much a part of Baldur's Gate as the air its citizens breathe. Temples and shrines stand proudly, scattered across the districts, offering solace and guidance to the faithful. Twin Songs, a haven of divine devotion, welcomes followers of all faiths, accommodating a kaleidoscope of deities within its sacred walls. Even shrines dedicated to the darker powers, such as Bane and Baal, find their place under the watchful eyes of the city's valiant Flaming Fist soldiers. Yet, amidst the myriad of gods and goddesses that are revered, three hold sway over the hearts and minds of the Baldurian people. The mighty Umberlee, goddess of the sea, is beseeched for favor and protection upon the treacherous waves. Tymora, the Lady Luck herself, is hailed in the hopes of attaining wealth and prosperity in the intricate webs of trade and commerce. And Gond, the benefactor of innovation and technological marvels, is revered as a constant reminder of the blessings bestowed upon the city, his influence stretching far beyond the boundaries of his magnificent temple and museum. Let us not forget the secret societies and enigmatic cults that call Baldur's Gate their home as well. For in the shadows, these clandestine organizations can find refuge even when the Baldurian people show little tolerance. The people of Baldur's Gate, in all their glory and distinction, are known as Baldurians, a name that resonates with honor and pride. The term Balduran is but a whispered rumor, a grave insult to the memory of the city's illustrious founder and a slight against the very essence of Baldur's Gate itself. And the city's coat of arms, a symbol of unity and aspirations, depicts a single ship, its majestic sails catching the winds of fortune as it glides across tranquil waters beneath a boundless blue sky. The ship, an embodiment of the city's role as a bustling trading hub, is also a tribute to the legendary Balduran, its founder. The serene sea, untouched by turmoil, symbolizes the city's commitment to peaceful neutrality, while the sky, an expanse of limitless possibilities, speaks of a future brimming with promise and adventure. So where did it all begin for this bustling city of hope and prosperity? In the mists of time, when legends were born and heroes sailed the seas, a humble settlement took root in the lee of a towering plateau. Loch's Fist, ruled by the formidable hill giant Loch, held sway over the land. With Loch's passing, a village emerged, a fisher's haven known as Loch Lee, nestled by a harbor that whispered secrets to those who dared to listen. Pirates and scavengers, known as ghost lighters, cast their deceptive lights, luring unsuspecting ships to meet their doom amidst the treacherous coastal fog. Their spoils plundered, they sailed up the mighty river Kyonther, finding solace in the sanctuary now known as Grey Harbor. The Year of the Avarice, a turning point in history, saw Grey Harbor and its supporting village of Loch Lee rise to prominence, a hub where ships from across the Sword Coast sought refuge from these ghost lighters. Shipyards and wharves soon adorned the settlement as it grew. A local hero, Balduran, returned to Grey Harbor, his tales echoing through the lands. For his voyage transcended the realms, and he had reached the distant continent of Anchorome, far beyond the shores of the elven Isle of Evermeet, and returned with unimaginable riches. Concealing his treasures within hidden caches, he commanded the construction of a mighty granite wall, a guardian protecting his home. With newfound glory, Balduran set sail once more, embarking on a second voyage to Anchorome, but alas, he vanished into the depths of the sea, leaving his legend to echo through the ages. In the wake of Balduran's departure, the farmers of the land seized control of the wall, repurposing its might to shield their holds and farms rather than the harbor itself. From all corners, townsfolk and outsiders flocked to the burgeoning settlement, seeking solace and safety within its protective walls. Grey Harbor, forever transformed, gave birth to Old Town, a realm enclosed by the ancient fortifications, while new structures emerged between the southern wall and the harbor, birthing a district known as Heapside. And thus, in the year of the unblinking eye, the realm earned its illustrious name, Baldur's Gate, a city of promise and destiny. Some whispered that the name had existed long before, shrouded in the mists of the year of the late sun. The Great Wall became a symbol of schism, separating the landowners of Old Town from Baldur's former comrades, the seafaring captains of Grey Harbor. The Old Towners, in their greed, imposed taxes upon the carts traversing from the harbor, igniting the fury of the sailors who refused to yield to their demands. With anger aflame, the smugglers, pirates, and merchants of Heapside stormed the gates of Baldur's Gate, their cries echoing through the halls of High Hall. A siege loomed, but before swords clashed and chaos reigned, a truce was forged. The captains, retired and revered, became the city's leaders, humorously referred to as dukes. With time, as the nation of AMN emerged, trade unfurled its vibrant sails within Baldur's Gate. The city expanded, embracing the intertwined fate of its citizens. Old Town, now known as the Upper City, and Heapside, transformed into the Lower City, became inextricably linked. The walls that encircled the city extended, safeguarding the bluffs of the Lower City, reaching southward to the shores of the mighty river Kyanthur. Though the city donned the cloak of neutrality, its might found an alliance in the Lord's Alliance, a gathering of forces that stood against the tides of darkness. Only once did the alliance call upon Baldur's Gate, when the dreaded Black Horde of orcs sought to invade. Eldrith, a valiant general, led the charge, her triumph though quickly turning to betrayal as she disobeyed orders in the hopes to completely wipe the orc band from the face of Faerun. Receiving no warm welcome upon her return, she led a ragtag siege upon Baldur's Gate, but in quick time her troops were decimated and she had to retreat. In the marshes of Chalimber, the forces of Baldur's Gate delivered justice, vanquishing the treacherous Eldrith and safeguarding the city's legacy. As time passed, the flaming fists descended upon Baldur's Gate, their fiery might igniting the city with a blazing aura. It was in the early 14th century, when the winds of destiny swirled, that the Balspawn Servok Anchev plotted a sinister conspiracy, seeking to plunge the city into the fires of war with AMN. But alas, the audacious scheme crumbled, crushed beneath the heroic feats of the future Grand Duke, Abdel Adrian. His valor shattered the plans of the Balspawn, erasing them from the realms and sealing their fate in oblivion. Yet, the trials and tribulations were far from over, for a tempestuous storm descended upon Baldur's Gate. Refugees, countless in number, sought solace within its protective walls, driven from their homes by the swirling conflict that clung to the Shining Lady and her zealous crusade. The Flaming Fist, alongside mighty armies, forged a coalition, an alliance born of necessity, to confront the looming threat that loomed over Dragonspear Castle. The clash of swords and the surge of magic filled the air, but ultimately, victory kissed the brow of the valiant defenders, safeguarding the city from the encroaching darkness. A shadow cast its dark mantle over Baldur's Gate, for Xantum's guild emerged from the depths of secrecy. But fear not, for three heroes emerged from the midst of uncertainty. Vaughn, Cromlech, and Adriana, their names whispered with reverence, stood tall against the guild. United with the enigmatic Harpers, they unraveled the darkness, exposing Eldrith the betrayer and her unholy alliance. For those that die in Faerun do not always stay dead. Within the heart of the city, a vampire known as Mordok Seylanmir, Eldritha's disciple, sought to unleash destruction upon the realm, but his nefarious designs crumbled beneath the weight of heroism in the year of the Bent Blade, 1376 DR. But the threads of fate are ever fickle, and the spell plague tore through Faerun, reshaping civilizations and altering the very essence of the land. Amidst this cataclysmic storm, Baldur's Gate stood resilient, untouched by the raging flames that consumed the realms. The city, known far and wide as an open city, embraced the downtrodden and displaced, offering sanctuary to those fleeing from the wreckage that marred the sea of fallen stars. The population swelled, tripling in a torrent of humanity. Yet, through sheer determination and the strength of its people, Baldur's Gate withstood the tempest, rising above the chaos to find stability amidst the storm. In the midst of the 15th century, when the echoes of upheaval still reverberated, a new threat emerged, born from the ambition of Grand Duke Valarken, General Eichel, and the enigmatic Band of the Red Moon. Their bid for power ignited the flames of conflict, threatening to tear the city apart. But in the face of adversity, the resilient spirit of Baldur's Gate prevailed. The government underwent a reformation, and the new Parliament of Peers extended its hand in assistance, electing the members of the Council of Four, a beacon of unity and strength. Abdel Adrian now stood as both Grand Duke and Marshal of the Flaming Fist. And so, as the Ageless One loomed on the horizon, the year 1479 DR heralded a newfound era of power and prominence for Baldur's Gate. It emerged as the heart of Faerun, a realm of unparalleled significance. The threats of Valarken and Amn were but distant memories, replaced by a harmonious relationship with Eltergard and the neighboring powers of the Western Heartlands. Yet, within the city's core, hidden tensions stirred, threatening to plunge it into the depths of civil strife. The winds of change whistled through the streets, whispering of an uncertain future, where the destiny of Baldur's Gate hung in the balance. Gathered on returning day, in the year of the Narthex murders, 1482 DR, Grand Duke Abdel Adrian stood before the eager masses. But destiny had woven a treacherous thread, for a man named Vaikong, the last remaining Bolspawn, emerged from the shadows to challenge the Grand Duke's authority. The clash of titans shook the very foundations of the city, a clash that sent ripples through the heavens. In that climactic moment, swords clashed. The victor remained unknown, but the world wept, for both men met their fates, one by the hand of his own kin, and the other, transformed into the dreaded Slayer, an avatar of the long-lost Baal. In the aftermath of this tragic encounter, the Council of Four, burdened with grief and suspicion, cast their gaze upon the Guild, a notorious den of thieves that lurked within the city's shadows. They called forth a group of valiant adventurers, chosen to unravel the tangled web of mystery that enshrouded the Grand Duke's demise. Yet, turmoil beset the city in the wake of the tragedy. Criminal acts proliferated, robberies and acts of wanton destruction staining the streets of Baldur's Gate. The Flaming Fist, stalwart guardians of the realm, tightened their grip, clamping down upon the darker corners of the lower city and outer city, striving to quell the rising tide of lawlessness. But as the Baldarian Parliament, in its infinite wisdom, enacted perplexing sumptuary laws dictating the attire befitting each citizen's station, vandals emerged, defiling the beloved statues that adorned the city's heart. Despite the noble efforts of the adventurers, the ever-vigilant Watch, and the Flaming Fist, led by the unwavering older Ravengard, chaos ensnared the city, spreading its venomous tendrils. The workers rose in rebellion, their strikes echoing through the very soul of Baldur's Gate. The upper city shrouded itself in a lockdown curfew, casting a pall of unease upon the land. Yet it was the merchant class of the lower city that ignited the flames of dissent, their fury a tempestuous storm. From protest to petty vandalism, the spiral of unrest surged, swelling into a torrent of arson and kidnappings that shook the very foundations of the realm. In response, the free press, known as Baldur's Mouth, fell silent, silenced by unseen hands. The new leader of the Fist, a figure shrouded in darkness, instituted a series of illegal tribunals, a mockery of justice. In the district of Norchapel, a clash erupted, pitting the denizens of the outer city against the formidable Flaming Fist soldiers. The clash became a conflagration, igniting riots that consumed the lower and outer city in an inferno of rage. Then, as if the very earth trembled with the weight of desperation, an explosion tore through Bloom Ridge, heralding a new era of martial law. Amidst this chaos, the adventurers hired by the Council of Four unraveled the sinister tapestry that ensnared the city. Grand Duke Torlin Silvershield, once a pillar of authority, revealed himself as the Chosen, a vessel of the resurrected god of murder, Baal. His nefarious plot to cleanse the corrupted parliament, engulfing it in a cataclysmic blaze of smoke powder, came to light. But heroes stood tall, their blades singing a hymn of justice, as they struck down the usurper. So what is the Baldur's Gate we know today like? In the realm of commerce and bustling markets, the grey harbor of Baldur's Gate stands as a beacon of prosperity and adventure. Its waters teem with life, as ships of all shapes and sizes sail forth, carrying cargoes that rival the riches of even the opulent ports of Kalimshan. No moral compass guides the trade within these sacred docks, for the city welcomes all who conduct business in a manner devoid of harm. In this realm of tolerance, where the winds of commerce know no bounds, Baldur's Gate emerges as the unrivaled titan of trade along the Sword Coast. Its influence surpasses even the mighty realms of Waterdeep and Amn, casting a shadow that stretches across the western realms. Behold, for within the city's walls, a currency unique to Baldur's Gate once danced in the hands of merchants and traders alike. Silver trade bars, minted with meticulous care, held the power to transform fortunes. The most coveted variety, weighing a solid pound, held a value of 5 gleaming gold pieces. The city itself, the master of economy, set the standards and regulated the flow of this cherished currency, ensuring that its worth echoed throughout the realms. But now the true heart of trade resides within the hallowed halls of guilds, those esteemed organizations that hold sway over their respective crafts. Nearly 90 professional guilds call the vibrant streets of Baldur's Gate home. From seafarers who tame the roaring waves to financiers who orchestrate the symphony of wealth, from lore masters who whisper the secrets of forgotten realms to brewmasters who concoct potions of untold delight, the guilds encompass the very essence of skilled artisans and tradespersons. Yet, a shadow looms over the once mighty Merchants' League. Once a dominant force that navigates the seas of trade with unwavering authority, they find themselves banished by the decree of the Council of Four, forced to operate in the clandestine realms of secrecy. And the Knights of the Shield, a collective of noble merchants, tread upon the edges of the city's boundaries, their influence hidden from the watchful eyes of official recognition. As for the enigmatic Iron Throne, their power waxes and wanes throughout the centuries, controlling the trade of weapons and armor that bolster the ranks of the Watch and the Fist, their grip on the markets shifting like the currents of the sea. In the realm of fashion and elegance, a spectacle unfolds, known as the Cloth Market. Once a year, in the embrace of late summer or the earliest of fall, the city transforms into a haven for textile weavers, seamsters, and gown makers. Among them, the illustrious Xanda Pennywell of Liam's Hold, her creations akin to works of art that adorn the noble and the common alike. And now, let us unravel the secrets of construction and the elusive world of stone. The city's appetite for stone was quenched by the magical conveyance from the distant lands of Mirabar. Such a spectacle comes at a price, for the journey of these stones, guided by the magic of yore, demands a fortune to bring them to Baldur's Gate. The military might of Baldur's Gate is a force to be reckoned with. The Flaming Fist, an elite corps of warriors, stands as the city's stalwart defenders. Their loyalty knows no bounds as they embark upon perilous journeys to distant lands, their bravery tested against the unknown perils of uncharted territories. The Flaming Fist, numbering over 1,700 soldiers strong, serves as the backbone of the city's defense. They are not merely soldiers but the embodiment of honor and courage. In times of need, they are ready to confront the dangers that lurk beyond the city walls, their blades gleaming with resolve. When discussing the defense of the city, we must look to the Upper City, and its protection falling under the responsibility of the Watch. the constables who enforce the laws of the city's noble patriarch class. As it has been for over a century before the Second Sundering, the rest of the city is policed by members of the Flaming Fist. Many officers within the Fist are retired adventurers, and its highest rank of marshal, by tradition, is one of the Grand Dukes. And alongside the Flaming Fist, the Grand Dukes command a formidable navy. A fleet of 6 mighty ships sails the treacherous seas, their crews filled with brave hearts and skilled hands. These vessels, symbols of power and strength, patrol the waters, protecting the city's interests and defending against any who dare to challenge Baldur's Gate. Looking to the sections of the city, the upper city stands as a testament to the lofty aspirations of the elite. Unlike its humble counterpart, the lower city, which bows down to the river's edge, this elevated realm gazes down upon the bustling docks and the meandering course of the Kayantha River with an air of superiority. As one enters this hallowed domain, a panorama of vibrant colored buildings lines the wide, elevated roads. It is a realm where the mansions of the patriarchs, those pillars of power and wealth, loom like majestic fortresses, casting their magnificent shadows upon the land. Here, within these grand edifices, the patriarchs live out their lives of opulence and indulgence, reveling in the pleasures that only immense riches can bestow. To maintain an atmosphere of peace and tranquility, a host of strict regulations govern the very fabric of this realm. Street music, raucous activities, and any establishment that emanates unpleasant odors are forbidden, ensuring that the air remains pure and untainted. During the vibrant hours of daylight, the upper city pulsates with life and enterprise. Savvy businessmen attend to their investments, merchants lay out their precious wares in the bustling marketplace known as the Wide, and caravans navigate the streets, their valuable goods bound for distant lands. The city thrums with the energy of commerce, as pack animals trudge through the outer city, eagerly awaiting reunification at the mighty Black Dragon or Basilisk Gate, where they shall embark on their continuing journey along the illustrious tradeway. Yet, as the sun retreats beyond the horizon and night casts its enchanting spell upon the land, the upper city transforms into a realm of ethereal beauty. Illuminated by the radiance of magically enchanted lamps and bathed in the silvery glow of the moon, the elevated streets become a celestial tapestry that dances above the enigmatic fog enveloping the rest of the city. Only the vigilant patrols of the watch, accompanied by their adept apprentice wizards who weave intricate spells to sustain the enchanting lights, venture into the night. For the upper city, in its majestic splendor, is deserted at this hour, its nocturnal affairs unfolding behind closed doors, within the vast domains of the patriarch's opulent estates. Passing by the old walls of Baldur's Gate, the lower city takes shape as a celestial crescent, encircling the majestic gray harbor. Perched upon mighty bluffs, the narrow cobblestone streets of the lower city twist and turn, intertwining like the strands of an intricate tapestry, forming enchanting city blocks that invite adventurers to explore their mysteries. The stone buildings, bound together in harmony, showcase the artistry of bygone eras. Their slate roofs reach for the heavens, while vibrant shutters, firmly closed as night descends, exude an aura of secrecy and anticipation. The lower city is veiled in an ethereal mist that rolls in from the nearby Kayantha River. The stone streets, kissed by the dampness of the fog, gleam with a subtle sheen, even in the light of day. Visibility is reduced, as if a thin veil separates the realm from mortal eyes. Yet, the darkness and mist are subdued by the soft glow of oil and wick street lamps that adorn many corners, their warm radiance piercing through the haze, particularly in the affluent districts, offering guidance and a sense of wonder. And as we close out the story of Baldur's Gate, there are tales of boundless wealth and fabled treasures that have echoed since the days of Baldur himself. Oh, the wonders that adorned his ship, the spoils of distant lands and untamed seas. Across the vast sea of swords, he sailed, his name sung by waves and carried on the wings of the wind. But the true enchantment lay not only in the riches he displayed, for whispers of a hidden cache of unimaginable wealth swept through the city like a tempest. Deep beneath the heart of Baldur's Gate, concealed within the very veins of the earth, a mythical trove awaited its worthy discoverers. A trove said to be nestled within the treacherous caves of the Sword's Teeth cliffside, where danger and opportunity danced an eternal waltz. For centuries, these rumors tantalized the hearts and minds of adventurers, fortune seekers, and dreamers alike. Thank you for joining me today. May your adventurers into Baldur's Gate be prosperous, and as always, if you would like to hear many more tales and legends, don't forget to hit like and subscribe.